Hi, once again, Danish tubers, we are back for module 4, and this time we're gonna build bridges and journey through the winding paths of Danish prepositions. I'm your Danish language guide, Liam. Follow me and try to keep up. Welcome to Demystifying Common Prepositions. Prepositions are the bridges that connect words, and in Danish, they have their own delightful charm. They can both frustrate and delight the most enthusiastic Danish learner. Are you ready to explore these stepping stone connectors? Let's start our adventure with prepositions of location, and I've brought along a very helpful little friend, Mario. Baha, it's me. Let's do it. So, hvor Mario? Firstly, han står foran bilen. Foran, in front of. If you go behind the car, han står bag bilen. Or bagved bilen. Han står bag bilen. He could be lying under the car, under, or he could be flying over bilen. So you can see under, over, under and over, spelled the same. You just say it under, silently, and over sounds more like a w rather than a v, over. He could, of course, jump up and be på bilen, or he could be safely nestled inside I bilen. Repeat after me once more. Foran, bag, under, over, på, I. So keep those prepositions in mind as we accelerate through to the next slide. And now I want you to tell me, which preposition would you use to describe where our little Italian friend is hiding? I bilen, in the car. Next one. Foran, in front of. One more. Bag, or bagved. So whether you're navigating the bustling streets of Copenhagen or describing a cozy corner in a cafe, you'll need these prepositions to guide you. Now let's dive into using some prepositions with nouns, and more specifically these two cheeky little guys, I and på, because these are the ones that cause, well, most problems, but they're not so hard to figure out. Let's go through some of the most basic examples. So let's start by simply thinking of this as in and on. There are some examples that make perfect sense. You can be I in park, in a park, or you can be på in strand, hopefully drinking a sangria and soaking up the sun without getting burned. Makes perfect sense, right? Next one, you could be I in by, a town, or på in bro, a bridge. This one is important because things get very literal. You could, for example, be within a country, I Danmark. But if you are on an island, you are, of course, på in ø, on an island. The difference is, in English, we don't always say I'm on an island. For example, I know you're going to Iceland. I'm in Iceland, right? Danish, you might choose to say, jeg på Island. Jeg på Island. And then also places within a country. And a good example is Copenhagen, because there's a lot of places that have the name bridge. For example, the West Bridge, the North Bridge, Vesterbro, Nørrebro, and they're just parts of the city. So in English, we probably say, I'm in Vesterbro, if you like. Vesterbro, hey bro, I'm in Vesterbro. I'm in North Bridge. In Danish, you will always say på, because technically, it's a bridge that you're saying. There's some other places like Frederiksberg. Frederiksberg is the nice area of Copenhagen. And again, the ending of this word berg sort of stems from possibly the word mountain, possibly the word hill, something like that. So technically, again, you are on it. Whereas any other general town, I always like to give the example of Valby, which is where I have lived for a long time in Copenhagen. Lyngby, Brøndby, all of these places that end in by, that means town. By is a town. then you are E. So that was a little on places. Let's get hopping onto something with wheels and talk about transport. So to say it like it is, don't rely on your English here, because all modes of public transport you are E. E-bussen, E-toget in the train, E-flyet in the plane, E-bilen in the car. The only thing you can be on is a bike, or a motorbike, or a skateboard, på cykel, på motorcykel, på skateboard. So it's very little. The reason that's confusing is in English you might say I'm on the bus, I'm on the train. In Danish if you say that it sounds like you're on the roof. Du I bussen, you're in the bus. This is going quickly, remember to take down some notes, but I'm going to test you at the end of this video. Let's move on to buildings. This is another fun one. You can be på et museum, whereas you would be I et supermarket. Now before we talked about being in or being on something. Here I like to think of på translating as at, because in English you could say I'm at the museum, I'm at the library, I'm at the pharmacy, and all that kind of thing. And most of the buildings in Danish you will say it in that way. På museum, på bibliotek, på apotek, på kontor, på café, på restaurant. So cafe, restaurant, whatever it is, you are at that place. As I wander around the city in my mind, I can see 3 exceptions: the supermarket, a shop, and a cinema. All those 3 I would be I. I et supermarket, I en butik, I en biograf. It's kind of like learning the exceptions. Generally, you would say på. So, talking about navigating around the city, here are a few simple directions to get you going. We have til, forbi, and fra. So I'm going to the airport, for example, forbi the airport, past it, and fra, from the airport. Til, forbi, fra. Here are a few snapshots of everyday examples with prepositions. Manden slapper af på stranden. Manden slapper af på stranden. The guy is relaxing on the beach. Jeg skal på biblioteket. Jeg skal på biblioteket. I'm going to the library. Again, this is interesting because I told you about the directions. Till meaning to. I'm going to this place. But there are some very fixed expressions like going to the museum, going to the library, where you just go to cafe, go to restaurant, where you still use the preposition på. So I wouldn't say jeg skal til biblioteket, because that would sound like I'm going to walk to the library, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to the library. It's a fixed expression, på biblioteket. Børnene hygger i bussen. Børnene hygger i bussen. The kids are cozying, having a good time in the bus. Or in English, on the bus. So these little words pack a punch when they combine to form expressions, and you'll soon be speaking Danish like a local. Remember these fixed expressions. That will help you a lot. Time to put your knowledge to the test. I've got some exercises to challenge you. Fill in the blanks, complete the sentences, and create your Danish expressions with prepositions. Go ahead, pause the video, come back, and see how you did. Here I come with karate kicking answers. Han går på havnen. Han går på havnen. He's walking on the harbor. That makes a lot of sense, right? You can only be on a harbor. Unless, of course, you are in Copenhagen, which is also a harbor, but you are i København. Anyway, bogen ligger på bordet. Bogen ligger på bordet. The book is on the table. That one makes perfect sense, right? Easy. Vi mødes i parken. Vi mødes i parken. Again, in the park in Danish, you would, maybe in English, what would you say? We meet at the park. You could say, I guess, in the park. In Danish, you are always in park. De går i biografen. De går i biografen. Again, fixed expression, going to the cinema is a gå i biografen. Two possible answers here. Han løber igennem skoven. I didn't give you the word gennem, so no worries. You get a bonus word here. Han løber igennem skoven. He's running in or through the forest. And lastly, once again, I want you to take out your Danish scrutinizing magnifying glass and identify the prepositions in these sentences. Pause the video, identify them, come back to see how you did. Han bor i København. He lives in Copenhagen. I is of course our preposition. De går til skole hver dag. They walk to school every day. Til is the preposition. Bilen holder foran huset. The car is parked in front of the house. Foran is our preposition. Han står ved døren og venter. He's standing by the door and waiting. Ved is our preposition. Useful one here. Ved kind of means whenever you are close to something, you are by something. If you call me and you're like, hey, where are you? And I say, I'm by Netto, the supermarket. Jeg står ved Netto. Last example, de spiser på restauranten i aften. På is of course our preposition. I aften is actually, I guess it's an adverb. It's two words that sort of go together. I aften. So, I is a preposition, but in this context, it's not. So, Danish language learners, I hope you're feeling a little bit more like a preposition pro, and that made sense. Go back and rewatch this video if you need to. Go over to your workbook so you can practice using some of these prepositions and identifying prepositions. As always, write to me if you have any questions, and until we meet again, remember, prepositions are your guiding stars. See you in video 2, where we're going to take a look at prepositions and verb combinations. Vi ses! DanishTube.